welcome back to another episode of Books and Banter. I'm Coral.
I'm Jamie.
And today we've got some books that have either just hit the shelves or are coming out soon. Last week we hit cozy reads, and a lot of us enjoy a nice cozy read. It's getting cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it is. But, some of us enjoy something a little bit more chaotic. A little bit more plot. The fluff is fun,
right.
But sometimes you need, murder, chaos, mayhem. You need these things, and that's okay. And that's why we have 4 really fun, really kind of off-the-wall books for you guys. So, Jamie, what did you find for us?
Okay. So the first one that I am excited to read is called Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Atkins. It has been described as Elmore Leonard meets Robert Ludlum in this rollicking comedic thriller. So it is set in 1985, and 14-year-old Peter Bennett is convinced that his mom's new boyfriend is a KGB agent. His name is Gary, and he's not in the phone book. He has an unidentifiable European accent, and he has a gun in the glove compartment of his Porsche. So Peter thinks that Gary only wants to get close to his mom because she works at Scientific Atlanta, a lab with big government contracts. So, but who's gonna believe him? He's just a kid. He's into BMX and MTV. Who's gonna buy it? So, a woman though at the lab his mom works at is killed. So Peter recruits an unlikely pair of allies, a has-been pulp writer named Dennis, and his drag performer buddy Jackie Demure, which I love that name. So both soon become the target of an unhinged Russian hitman, Gary, with a serious Phil Collins obsession. I'm very curious about that. Yeah. So, and then meanwhile, there's a FBI agent named Sylvia who is investigating Scientific Atlanta in the wake of the employee's murder and discovers a nest of Russian spies in the city. Also, she doesn't know this, but her investigation is being thwarted by a compromised colleague in Washington, D.C., who is in league with a lovesick, hypochondriac KGB defector who is playing both sides of the Cold War. And wait, there's more. So Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev are preparing for a historic nuclear summit in Geneva. So what happens in Atlanta might just change the course of the Cold War, the 20th century, and Peter's freshman year of high school. So
is this book like 900 pages?
Oh, who knows? We'll see. But yes, this sounds wild. A lot going on, but I'm very curious. Is Peter right about Gary? I love stuff set in the 80s. It sounds really fun. Well, I can't wait for this. So, and it's expected in December. So we'll find out.
I feel like you really hit the nail on the head with the chaos reads.
Yeah.
I thought my books were chaotic, but maybe they're not as chaotic as I thought.
Top that. Yeah.
This one that I'm looking at just sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's called Best Offer Wins by Marisa Kashino. So this is described as a horror thriller, but with like a lot of dark humor mixed in. So it sounds absolutely wacky. And it follows Margot, and she is 18 months in to her search for a house to buy in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. She's been outbid 11 times, and she is getting fed up because she feels that not being able to buy a house has really put on hold other plans she has in her life. And she is desperate to get the house that she wants. And she does get a tip. She gets a tip that a house that she considers her dream home is going to hit the market in 1 month. And so she decides that she's going to do what she needs to do to get this house before it ever hits the market because she knows she'll be outbid if it hits the market.
Yeah.
So, she's going to do what she's got to do. If she's got to trespass, she's going to trespass. If she's got to stalk the owners, she's got to stalk the owners. She is getting this house. And, she's doing whatever works to make the current owners love her and want to just do a deal with her.
Right.
But when, things seem to be working out. Things seem to be going in Margot's favor. Until it doesn't. And you'll find out how far Margot will go to get this house. Reviews say you're going to root for her even as you gasp in disbelief at what she's doing. And it's dark, biting, and laugh out loud funny. So it sounds chaotic. The housing market's rough. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And it's expected in November. So it'll be out there soon for you.
Wow. Nice. Okay, so my other choice is With Friends Like These by Alissa Lee. It is about a group of Harvard roommates, Sarah, B, Dina, Allie, Wesley, and Claudine. And they start out as roommates and they soon become great friends, become family. And then their senior year, one of them a shocking tragedy is what it says. So 6 roommates now becomes 5. 20 years later, they still indulge in a secret tradition that they've kept alive since their campus days called the circus, a harmless elimination-style killing game played across their private rooms and hidden alleys of New York City. The game is a nod to their younger selves. It also kind of really it's apparently you win money. Anyway, but it gives me Squid Game vibes. So, but apparently, no one is really supposed to die, but something happens. So, yes, this year Sarah doesn't want to play the game anymore, but then finds out that there is going to be a small fortune awaiting the winner. So, as it unfolds, though, she begins to suspect that the others aren't playing by the rules. And as the danger turns real and old friends start pointing fingers, she discovers that even those closest to her harbor secrets of their own. Secrets that could kill. This is all from the book description, by the way. The reviews say that it is fast-paced, tightly plotted, that readers will be clawing their way through this story to find out who is doing the blackmail and how it all ties together. And I think, I love stuff kind of like dark academia stuff. So I think this, sounds really interesting. I watched Squid Game. We'll see if it's similar. And this is expected in November. So.
Wow. The last one I have is one that is on top of a lot of lists. They're calling it already a New York Times instant bestseller. They love to say that. Yeah. But it's called Mad Wife by Meagan Church. It's a historical thriller set in the 1950s. Ooh. And it follows Lulu. Lulu is your classic, perfect 50s housewife, what you think of. She's vacuuming every day. She's making stuff in gelatin. She's doing what she's got to do. But after the birth of her second child, things start to change for Lulu, and she becomes obsessive over her new neighbor, Bitsy. Oh. And she thinks Bitsy is hiding something dark behind her smile. She becomes obsessive. And she, as she tries to untangle this web, secrets start to emerge, and other people start questioning Lulu's sanity. Wow. So it's described as a quietly devastating nod and wink and nod to The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. People say it's a one-sitting read. And when you think you know what's going on, Meagan Church slips the area rug out from under you. So sounds very interesting. Sounds a little heavy, but all the reviews say you just cannot put this book down once you start it, that you are desperate to know what happens. So, very, very interesting pick. And that one is also expected in November.
Nice. Okay, well, as we said, these are chaotic reads. They may not be for you. If you think you might be interested in some of these, just be sure and check the content warnings, and maybe, they might have some stuff that's not up your alley, and that's fine. We have plenty of things to offer here at the library. We have other videos you can watch, other recommendations. You can ask your local librarian for help finding a book. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.